Good morning. This is retired Pastor Karl Schmidt from Calvary Lutheran Church. This is the fourth Sunday after the feast of the resurrection, fourth Sunday of Easter. And the text was from John chapter 16, verses 16 through 22. A little while, and ye shall not see me, and again a little while, and ye shall see me, because I go to the Father. Then said some of his disciples among themselves, What is this that he said to us, a little while, and ye shall not see me, and again a little while, and ye shall see me, and because I go to the Father? They said, therefore, What is this that he saith, a little while? We cannot tell what he said. Now Jesus knew that they wanted to ask him, and said to them, Do you ask among yourselves of that I said, a little while, and you will not see me, and again a little while, and you will see me? Truly, truly, I say to you that ye shall weep and lament, but the world shall rejoice. And ye shall be sorrowful, but your sorrow shall be turned to joy. A woman, when she is in travail, has sorrow, because her hour is come. But as soon as she is delivered of the child, she remembers no more this sorrow, for joy that a man is born into the world. And now you, therefore, have sorrow, but I will see you again, and your heart shall rejoice, and your joy no man takes from you. Here ends that portion of the gospel text. Now, this text is a little silly, actually. A little silly because, well, kids, what do you basically want to know around Christmas time?
Santa.
Yeah, and what does Santa bring you?
Presents.
Presents. And what's the most important question you have about the... Okay, so the question the kids mostly have is, when do we get our presents? Yeah. At Christmas time. Yes, but when? Christmas morning, Christmas night, the day before Christmas?
Morning.
Morning? How do you know?
Like in the afternoon.
Maybe in the afternoon? What if it's like 2 days after Christmas? Is that okay?
You got lazy parents.
Santa, what's wrong with that man? Where's our presents, right? You see, we're usually not so much concerned about the what, but the when. Because we just want to know when, right? When do we get our toys? When do we get Santa leave our presents, right? We're less even concerned about what it is. Probably already know. Because, you put in your requests through mom and dad for what Santa should bring you, right? And then they tell you Santa just doesn't have that kind of cash. You're like, what's wrong with that Santa? Bust broke. And your parents are like, yeah, okay. So now the whole thing about when. But you see, that's the silly part, because these disciples are all concerned. There's two things that Jesus brings up. Just two. Two things, and they focus on the one that doesn't matter at all. The one that does matter, And they even point out that they had two questions. What is that he said? A little while, and you not see me, and again a little while, that you will see me. And then they said something else, because I go to the Father. They said, therefore, so what we really want to know is, what's this little while? Really? That's what interests you? Not this thing about going to the Father? Because Jesus says, Hote upago pros ton patera. For this reason, this cause, I go to my Father. That would seem to be one single question in my mind. Who? What? Are you going back to Nazareth? Are you going to take over Joe's carpentry shop again? I mean, you were the eldest son. We know there are 4 other brothers. We know that you all worked together at the carpentry shop, and your sister supported you guys, made meals and stuff, and brought them over to the shop so you guys could have some food. And you guys were all delivering all around town in the area, tables, chairs, whatever, made of wood. So, yeah. Are you going back to see Joe? But no one asks that question, which is weird, because that would be the very first question, wouldn't it? Your father? You going back to Nazareth? I mean, we're just quitting? We go back to fishing. Matt goes back to working at the toll booth, and that's it? This ends? Wouldn't that be kind of the first question you'd want to know? No. And this little while thing, by the way, is a Hebraism. It comes from the Hebrew Old Testament, the scriptures. And it's used by the prophets, this little while. And that's the only thing that interests them. But the only thing in there that matters is the who. Jesus isn't talking about Joseph. He's not talking about going back to Nazareth. Because, well, he did go back, right? How did that go? Yeah, they wanted to kill him. And he said, a prophet's not welcome in his hometown or region. Never. And that's always been true. So, yeah, didn't spend a lot of time there. And pretty much after he was 12 years old, we don't really hear anything about Joseph. Did he die? Accident at the carpentry shop? Did a table fall on him? We don't know. Just kind of disappears. It's just not mentioned. He's not mentioned at the cross. He's not mentioned anywhere else. Just when Mary says, your father and I have been looking for you in Jerusalem, when he was 12 and took off. So, not that father. So, what would then be the next obvious question? What would the only thing should want to know at that point? Who are you talking about? What's going on? If it's not Joe, who? And you see, in this text today, it's still the only question that matters. We don't really care about a little while. Although if you're a kid, you're waiting for Santa Claus to bring the goodies, right? Show up, Santa. Cough up the goods, right? Yeah, we know. But, so the when matters, as long as you're like 7. But short of that, it really doesn't matter. Adults are great in waiting for things. It's just how it goes. So who? Who is this father? And why does he have to go there? Where would be the second question I'd have. Who and where? Are you leaving? Are you going to Cleveland? I mean, where are you going? Because upago comes from ago, and it means to go, just to go. Doesn't say where, just go. In this case, journey. So he's going to journey to see his dad. The thing of it is, it's the only thing that matters in this text. Because Jesus told us, where I'm going, there you will be too. And how are you going to get there? Oh, that's easy. I'll come get you. I'll bring you with me. How's that? And that's what religion is about. All of the other nonsense about how we behave, what we do, what we say, all the rest of that, sin, all that nonsense is just that. None of it actually matters. Why? Because the one speaking is your brother. Because he talks about a common father. Now, Stella, I don't mean Bubba, your brother. But you have another brother. Do you know that? Yeah, Stella has another brother. Jesus. He's also your brother. He's also your dad's brother. My brother. Tim's brother. Mike's brother. Everybody's brother, yes. And because of that, he... Absolutely, the whole world, in fact. And he brings everybody home. Because that's the kind of family it is. And a lot of times Christianity is framed up as some sort of moral behavior, moral code. Well, the 10 Commandments, if you follow the 10 Commandments and live a faithful life and you believe in God, well, you must go to heaven. No. Because a very simple reason. No one. I mean, no one, except for one, Jesus, no one can follow the 10 Commandments. And it's not for lack of trying. Even the effort to try is offensive. Okay, picture this. A husband comes home, brings his wife flowers. Hey, honey, I brought you some flowers. Okay, it's 3 in the morning. He's drunk, and he has lipstick all over his neck and shirt. And it's not just one color of lipstick. It's 4 different colors. And he smells like he just came out of a barn. The guy stinks of whiskey, women, smoke. And he comes and says, hey, baby, I brought you flowers. Huh? Who loves me? And the wife looks at him and goes, have you been out drinking? Yeah. Did you spend all the money for the family's food? Oh, yeah. On, partying until 3 in the morning, hanging with the boys, and there were some women there. We were dancing the night away, having a good time. I spent all my money on them. And, but I brought you home some flowers. I picked them from the neighbor's garden, by the way, but brought you some flowers. Oh. So aren't you happy? You see how offensive it is for that husband to hand her flowers. It's not just wrong. It's offensive. That's how God feels when people go to him and go, oh, man, God, I am like superstar this week, man. I helped out I worked at the children's hospital. I drove kids to surgeries. I took care of a bunch of widows' lawns. I cut their lawns and fixed their gutters and cleaned up around the house for them. I did all sorts of good deeds, as well as worked and took care of my family and all the rest. The guy goes, well, that's offensive. That's awful. You're like, but I did all these good things. Just like the husband who comes in dead drunk, stinking of whiskey, cigars, and other women, and says, oh, what a good husband am I. Here's some flowers from the neighbor's garden. And you just go, well, you rot. You stink. You're awful. This is how God feels about every effort to try to look good in front of him. He doesn't want it at all. It just sickens him. He says so. I'm not making this up. In the Old Testament, the people were bringing him sacrifices for the altars, and then they were turning around and living like a bunch of animals. It's like Animal House in Israel. And God says, look, I can't even stand to be around you people. And the smell of your sacrifices makes me want to retch. That's how I feel about you. You make me sick to my stomach. You're nauseating. And that's because they brought him gifts to his altar and gifts for the priests. And he rejects it. He says, I don't want your stinking gifts. I don't want your sacrifices. He said, a broken and contrite heart is the only thing I'm looking for. That's all. And what is that about? That's simple. That's just one who comes to God and says, look, I got nothing. I'm bringing nothing. I literally have nothing. I've got nothing that's pleasing to you. Here I am. It's just me. Just the child you made. As is. And God goes, yeah, good. That's all I ever wanted. That's it. Just the child I made. As you are. As broken as you've become, as wretched as you've become in this world, fine. Because I took care of everything else. Now, I've been pastor for 35 years, retired for 3, and there's a couple of things I don't understand. Sin, no clue. I don't have any idea how going out and cheating on your wife has anything to do with some Lord God Almighty. I have no idea. No idea at all. No clue. What has that got to do with him? Don't know. And why does the death of his son make it okay? I don't know. These are issues way beyond my pay grade. Do not understand it at all. But I do understand something. when Jesus says, Dad, patera, I know what a dad is. Like when a dad holds his son and just cuddles him, and the son goes, I want to go play. And you go, okay, in a minute. Okay, then I want food. Crackers. And you go, yeah, okay, we'll deal with the crackers. But dads are there. That's what dad's supposed to be. And that's the who. And then the where, I don't have an answer for that. When Jesus says, upago, I go. I don't know. I'm not that smart. Haven't been there yet. Don't know. But I do know one thing. Jesus, our brother, says, where I am, I'll bring you. There you will be too. And that's good enough. And who's this for? Every one of his brothers and sisters. And who is that? Everyone that is human. Everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, how you live, where you're from, the color of your skin, your background, what you do or do not believe. Even if you hate the idea of God, it doesn't matter. It's already taken care of. He did this for you. And that's the whole idea. So, that's this text from the Gospel of John, the 16th chapter, verses 16 through 22. And Jesus ends the section by saying, no man takes your joy from you. And if we have anything good in life, that's what we need. Some comfort, some peace. Because there's enough disappointments, there's enough broken relationships, there's enough heartbreak, there's enough sadness, there's enough sickness and illness and just regular junk. So we need joy. And that's nice. By the way, Karen, your name comes from that word, kara, in Greek. Karan. It means joy. See, you're my joy, right? That's my...
Having hot flashes and PMSing.
Yeah, driving with the car's window down, and it's 56 degrees. But no, I'm fine. Just because I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt. No, it's fine. I'm good with that. Yeah, totally.
Whose fault is that?
It's mine.
It's your fault.
It's still my
She
fault.
shouldn't have suffered.
The sun is just not shining. It's still my fault. Yeah, but joy. So, anyways, that's it. Again, this is Karl, retired Pastor Karl from Calvary Lutheran, and thank you.